Overflows.
Synchronicity, the spiritual happening. Synchronicity is a dimension of spiritual happening. It always existed. It means that the existence communicates with the one who is ready. It is the communion between an enlightened one and the existence. Part of this can be for your own growth, and when it comes as a vision, it is that existence wants something to happen to you for the transformation of human consciousness. When Vedavyas had the vision, he saw something, and by the time he came out of the meditation, the vision disappeared. He forgot. Then again, he had a similar thing. Then he requested, if whatever is happening to me or whatever vision I am getting is for the benefit of humanity, get me the opportunity or arrangement so that it can be scribed. And then Bhagavad Mahabharat Puran came into existence, Srimad Bhagavad Puran. Similar incident happened when Holy Prophet Hazrat Paighambar Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam had the Miraj, and in front of Allah he had the vision. Not the way Muslims think it happened. Spiritually, it happened as a vision. This always existed in the entire history of Indian subcontinent, but in modern expression, it was analytical psychiatrist Carl Gustav Jung who introduced the concept of synchronicity along with a physicist in 1955. I am reminded about one of the emperors of India, Akbar. It is mentioned in his autobiography, Akbarnama, about the entire incident. He was very much interested in all kinds of creative people. In his court, he has the greatest poets of the country, the wisest people, the great singers, musicians, dancers, etc. His court must have been one of the richest courts that any emperor ever had. He had collected in his court all kinds of geniuses, painters, poets, sculpturists, musicians, and scholars. He had the topmost musician of the country, Tansen, in his court. Tansen is the most important name in Indian music in the whole history of India, and India has glorious history of music. Tansen was just a magician as far as music is concerned. One day Akbar asked him, "Last night when you departed, you played so beautifully on your veena, a stringed instrument, and your song was so haunting that I could not sleep." The song continued and music continued. Let me let me explain Veena first before going into the explanation. Veena is any of various cardophone instruments from Indian subcontinent in which a stretched vibrating string produces the initial sound. The five basic types of bows, harp, lute, lyre, and zither, and many regional designs have different names such as Rudravina, Saraswati Veena, Vichitra Veena, and others. North Indian Rudravina used in Hindustani music is a stick zither. about 3.5 to 4 feet long to fit the measurement of the musician. It has a hollow body and two large resonating ground gourds, one under each end. It has four main strings which are melodic and three auxiliary drone strings. To play, the musician plucks the melody string downward from the plectrum worn on the first and second finger, a kind of a cap that he puts on, plectrum that he puts on, wears on his first and second fingers to play with the string. While the drone strings are strummed with the little finger of the playing hand, musician stops the resonating string when so desired. With the fingers of the free hand, in modern times, veena has been generally replaced with sitar in North Indian performances. Akbar continued, "You left, but it was such a haunting experience. Then suddenly a thought came to me that if Tansen is so beautiful, what about his master? He must have learned from somewhere. Music is also learned in India through masters because it is one of the meditative sciences. What about his master if his disciple is so great?" And he told Tansen, "I could not imagine that something could be greater than your music or somebody could be greater than you are. Is your master alive? And if he is alive, then invite him to the court." Tansen said, "His name is Haridas. He is alive, but he will not come. You will have to go to him. He is a beggar and does not care for anything. Even if somehow I persuade him to come, he never sings. If somebody asks, he never plays on his instrument. He plays only when he feels so. So if you really want to listen, you will have to follow according to his ways. And he is an eccentric man, and one never knows when he will play. But I will inquire and I'll make the arrangements." And after 2 days, he informed the king he just he is just close by in Agra, where the Taj Mahal is, just by the side of the river. He lives in a hut, and I have come to know that almost every morning, early at 3 o'clock, he plays all alone. Nobody hears it, only the river and trees. So if you really want to listen, we will have to go and hide behind the hut and listen. If you really are interested in, then we will have to sit by the side of his hut early in the morning, 3 o'clock, because that is the time when he wakes up, takes his bath in the river, and then he has a small statue of goddess of wisdom. Before the statue he plays. There is no other audience at that time, and you will have to hide behind the hut in the trees, because if he becomes aware that someone is listening, he may not sing. He may not play on his instrument. He is a crazy man. But who has ever heard that great creators can be other than crazy? They have a certain madness. They have a certain madness about them. They are not sane people in the eyes of the world. Akbar was so excited that he said, "Tonight we will go. You do not have to go home, sleep here, and at 3 o'clock we will be by the side of the hut. Akbar was so enchanted that he said, "Okay, I will come." They went. It was a cold winter night, and Akbar was shivering, and like a thief, he was hiding behind the hut. Tansen told Akbar, the Tansen told the emperor that we will have to keep a tuned instrument outside the hut and he will see the magic. The master started playing at 3 o'clock. The tuned instrument started playing the same tune on its own. It is something like this. If you have your Wi-Fi and it is connected, so whatsoever is happening, you can hear on your instrument, on your laptop. This is a kind of a synchronicity via the deep attention. So master is playing and the heart is open. Heart is in tune, just like a Wi-Fi. Heart is in tune with the existence, with whatsoever is happening, and he was hearing. It is said, when the master and disciple have their hearts tuned into one another, whatsoever is happening in within the heart of the disciple is reflected to the master, and master feels the same thing. Similar thing happened with Amir Khusro, and that kind of synchronicity was in Amir Khusro and Jalaluddin Rumi. Master started playing at 3 o'clock. The tuned instrument started playing the same tune on its own. Akbar could not believe it. It was so unearthly. Many times he thought he was dreaming, and tears started flowing from his eyes, and Tansen was watching what was happening. Akbar did not utter a single word. He was in such an awe. An emperor, a great emperor, he ruled over whole of India, went to listen to the music as a thief, and when he heard it, Tansen could not believe it. Tears were flowing from Akbar's eyes, just of joy and ecstasy. When they were returning, he remained silent. The impact of the music was such. When he was entering the palace, he said only one thing to Tansin: "It is unbelievable. If you had told me, I could have not believed it. I thought that there was nobody who can surpass you, but now I have heard and seen it. Seen is so superb that I don't think you could ever reach that point." Tansen said, "There is no secret about it. It is an open secret. I sing to get something: money, power, and prestige. He sings to get he sings not to get anything. He sings because he has already got something. He has got his inner silence. Those songs, that music is born out of inner experience of silence and love. It is the byproduct, a consequence, something that has happened within him and is flowing out in the form of music. As far as I am concerned, I am singing to get something. He sings because he has already got something. You have to live in a totally different way um, than the humanity is living. You have to live love, feel love within an inner kingdom, the inner richness. Then your whole life will be full of song, music, poetry, joy, and dance. The world will call you mad, but who cares about the world? You will know that if this is madness, such madness is far better than the so called sanity. Enough for now.